Are you guys able to hear either her or me? We're experiencing issues between us with a technical connection. Yeah, are you guys able to hear either me or Emily? 'Cause I'm unable to hear her, and we're just trying to determine where the technical problem is. So I just opened the broadcast, Emily, and I can hear myself, but I can't hear you on the broadcast. So I just opened the broadcast, Emily, and I can hear myself, but I can't hear you.
Hello?
Yep.
You can hear me?
Can now, yep.
Here we go. Awesome. Woo. Okay.
Looks like you just got to resume the broadcast now. There we go.
Oh, it says it's still on at my end.
Oh, okay. We're good.
Cool, we're good. So show your name, show my name. There you go. Let's take that comment off of there. Dunk, dunk, dunk. So, and we've got people here. People, people. Beautiful souls. If you can hear us, can you let us know, please? Yes, we have sound. Thank you so much, guys. Awesome. You hear Michael, but not Emily. Are you for real? Seriously? They can hear you, but not me, Michael.
Well, I think they can hear you now. Pretty sure they can. I think that was from before.
Oh, okay, cool. Sorry, guys. I was getting a little confused, but that's okay anyway. I was going to say it's Michael's show. Don't worry about it. We'll hand it over anyway. It's all good. But okay, thank you, guys. Welcome. This is Starlight Wisdom. I'm your co-host, Emily from the UK. My pages are Indigo Soul Starseed on Facebook, and there is Indigo Ray Guys, which is a private group that I have, and also I have a channel on YouTube called Indigo Ray also. I'm not going to talk about me because this isn't about me. I just wanted to share my pages with you so you guys, if you resonate, can catch future shows and so forth. We have an awesome lady coming on tonight, a shamanic lady. She spent a lot of time at the Standing Rock Reservation, so I'm really looking forward to that. Amazing stories. But today we have Micheal, am I pronouncing it right? Monk?
Yep.
And you are situated where, my lovely?
I'm in Panama City Beach in Florida, United States.
So Florida. Cool. And from what I remember of your bio, it says that you're an energy avatar healing master. Can you explain a little bit about what that is, please, before we jump into the story?
Sure. I mean, titles, what I do, I just do the best to describe it, but I'm basically completely connected to my spiritual energy internally and externally. And I'm able to have effects on the physical world that can be demonstrated, like moving the wind or changing the weather.
Beautiful.
Healing, which a lot of people are already familiar with. And so I teach everything that I know, and I offer healing services at my website, which is avatarenergymaster.com or avatarenergymastery.com. They both lead to the same place. But I've been involved in this work for going on 8 years now. as a
Great.
teacher and a healer.
Beautiful. And from what I read, can you just check if I spelt that correctly, please? I'll put your website up
Yeah,
there
yeah, we're good.
for everyone. Great, thank you. From what I remember, because I watched you interviewed by Todd as well,
Hmm.
Todd Medina, and from what I remember, the story was that you'd actually gone into solitude for some time to learn about these things, or I'm not sure why you did it. If you could tell us about that, or if you'd prefer to start something about your past, your childhood, it's completely down to you where you'd like to start.
Yeah, sure. I can do the short version of my story. Can you give me just 1 minute? I'm going to turn the air down a little bit. It's getting warm in
Yeah,
here. I'll be
of
right
course,
back.
of course, of course. Hi guys, thanks again once for joining us. Well, we got a little break. I'm going to just pull a few comments up on the page. So it's been a busy day, guys. So we've got Shelley. Hello, Shelley. Lena. Hello, Lena. Thank you for joining, everyone. Moira. Hello. Hello, Lisa. Hello. Hello, Elizabeth. Thank you for joining. Back to Michael.
Hmm. Okay, so this all happened about 1999, towards the end of 1999. And
Mm-hmm.
I was never spiritual or religious or anything like that. I was raised in the Mormon church, but I was the first one in the family to say I'm not going anymore. So I was
Okay.
completely, not looking for anything and just watching a movie and having fun, laughing. When next thing I know, I feel a presence come in through top of my head, or I didn't know what a crown chakra was back then.
Yeah.
But this presence comes in and then speaks to me.
Mm.
Hard to say telepathic or physically, because it was both. I could hear it in my mind and I could also hear it in my ears. And it asked me to stand up, to turn the TV off, and to pay attention. And I did. And I asked who was speaking to me, and I asked if it was my grandfather, because he had recently passed away. And this presence said yes, and it didn't just speak in that way, though. It was like a emotional and vibrational connection. So it
Mhm.
vibrated my whole body with like this sense of joy and well-being. But then it communicated that there's more here. And so I
Mhm.
asked if my cousin was there, because he had recently died, and it said yes. And same feeling
Mhm.
again, that joy. And I was a little confused. How can you be both? How can you be my grandfather and my cousin? And then it opened my third eye. I didn't know what a third eye was, but it gave me a vision right on top of my physical vision, and it showed me just thousands, millions. I mean, I can't put a count to it, but endless amounts of human-shaped light beings that were all connected together as one,
Wow.
speaking as one voice with
Wow.
all of their minds. Yeah, and that's when I realized what I was talking to, and it didn't mind when I called it God. It was the way I could understand it back then, being how I was
Mhm.
raised. But I was most astonished at the connection, the telepathy, because I could hear and feel emotionally, vibrationally, every single one of these beings that were connected to me. So I was like, wow, is this what
Wow.
it's like on the other side? We're all connected and share thoughts and feelings. And they all said as one that you have finally met me, and that you can ask me any questions. So that night we dialogued a lot, but I didn't really have the right questions to ask. They were all related about the Bible and stuff, because that's where I was at.
Yeah.
Um, but it kept leading me towards truths about reality. Um, I don't remember the specifics of the entire conversation, but at the end of the night, I ended up in a chair facing a wall, and I just knew that if I did the right thing within my mind, that I could make that wall disappear and see right through it. And I
Mm.
never achieved it that night, but that's like where I ended up with the information I was given about vibration and stuff.
We're talking like the Matrix, guys. If you guys have seen the movie The Matrix, think of that. Think of Neo. But yeah, cool.
Yeah,
Sorry.
but no problem. So after that, there was like a period of 8 years or so where I would experience spontaneous reality bending miracles by praying to God in the name of Jesus, which was what I, knew and understood. And I mean, like high level stuff, healings, weather changes, pretty intense. The first one that happened was I had an accident and my left eye was stabbed and bleeding profusely,
Oh,
like type of injury where you just lost your eye. You just messed
ouch.
up. You're gonna have to go to the hospital, and if you're lucky, you might see again in a few months. But I was like, I just talked to God, so why don't I just pray? And I did, and I was vibrated. It was crazy. I get up and I look in the mirror, and all the blood is gone. All the tears
Wow.
that I've been crying were gone. But right here from the center of my forehead, blood was trickling down, and I wiped it
Wow.
off, and there's no wound on my forehead. So this force, God, Christ, it reconfigured my physical flesh, like right there on the spot, by
Amazing.
request. So, yeah, I mean, I was a bit shocked, joyed, frightened, like all sorts of things all at the same time. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, for about a period of 8 years, I would just get this random times of knowingness where I just knew for a fact that if I prayed for something, it would happen. And the
Yes.
times when I didn't know, it wouldn't happen. Like I would just know when the miracle could be asked for and when it couldn't. And that continued for about 8 years until I randomly discovered energy, channeled messages, and so forth. I was interested in 2012, started looking it up, and David Wilcock was talking about it, and he was always referencing this material called the Law of One. So I said,
Mm-hmm.
well, let's check that out. And during those 8 years, I had a great, I didn't always have the ability to dialogue with this celestial presence, but I always had a yes and no relationship with it. Like I could ask anything, and if the answer was yes, I'd get these beautiful uplifting vibrations. If the
Mm-hmm.
answer was no, I'd get a flight fight feeling in my stomach, like
Yeah.
an adrenaline reaction. And it supported me as I started reading this channeling by Ra, the Law of One, which was interesting, because a couple hundred years ago, you'd be burned at the stake for saying
Yeah.
anything like that.
There's
But
lots.
here's this force, the Holy Ghost itself is telling me that this channeling is the real deal and something to pay
Mm-hmm.
attention to. But in the channeling, it talks a lot about how this world of form, this physical reality, is a mental construct, or I don't like the word illusion because that says it's not real. It's definitely real, but
Yes.
everything is vibration and waveform, and that we're forming our sense of a physical, tangible, touchable world, but
Yeah.
everything's fluctuating waveform energy in actuality. And I really, really, really understood it. Like I understood it here. It didn't go in here.
Mm-hmm.
It went all the way in there. And when it did, I got an insane level of energy activation right away. And the voice of God came back to me, which had been silent for years. And it just said, good job. Now go outside and get away from people. So I did. I went out back. I was at work. And as soon as I stopped walking, uh, and centered myself, the whole world around me started rippling, morphing, fluctuating, just like heat when it comes off a blacktop on a hot
Yeah.
summer day, except it was rainbow light everywhere.
Wow.
And
Beautiful.
and I remember I had this feeling like I know this place, like I've been here before, and I know what to do. And the feeling of knowing what to do was like stepping out of my chest, like the same way when you take that first step with your left or right foot, except I stepped out from here. I didn't know what a heart chakra was, but anyhow,
Yeah.
I opened that up, and my body started doing the same thing as the world around me. And I was just shocked. I remember looking at my arms, and I could see right through them, and they were turning into rippling rainbow energy. My whole physical body was. And
Wow.
unfortunately, I got a little bit scared and said, what if I can't rematerialize my body? And as soon as I had that thought, just the energy went away. I was back in solidity, and my heart was beating out of my chest. Um,
Oh, bless you.
After
Wow.
that, I spent a couple years trying to get back there because I was really disappointed that I had a fear reaction when, who knows where I would have gone if I would have let that go all the way.
It's
So
understandable. It's completely understandable. I remember when I first astral traveled and things like that. I had the same, underlying fear almost. Yeah, I get it. But wow, I mean, just whew, can you imagine that, guys? Like seeing your body just what? Can you imagine that? Oh wow. Please
yeah,
continue.
it was amazing. So, you know, when I returned to the physical state, my heart was beating out of my chest, but in the rippling energy state, I didn't even have a heart, like not in that
Mm,
sense. I was just pure energy. And so it was
mm,
interesting to see the change, coming back into
yeah.
physicality. And then, all of a sudden I've got all these linear mechanisms where I didn't have them before. But then, yeah, after that, I spent a couple years trying to get back there, and eventually I nailed it. I opened it up, and it wasn't through any type of focus or the right technique or anything. It was the opposite of all of that. It was complete just vegging out, or I almost went like into a catatonic state, like a catatonic person. And I was just vegging out, and I let go enough to where all of a sudden everything starts rippling like that again in my
Wow.
house. Except this time
Mhm,
it was me that opened it up instead of the God presence. So
mhm.
it was mine. So I could do it whenever I want. And from there, it wasn't long until all my other senses connected. So I'd open up and I'd see the energy, and the vision is the leader of the five senses. Like if you see something, you have great cause to believe that you could then touch it, or you could smell it, or taste it. Our eyes very rarely lead us astray that way. So when clairvoyance is the first thing you open up to energy, it's very natural that the other senses hop right on board. So after like a couple of weeks, I could see, hear, taste, touch, all the others with the
Yeah.
energy. And that's when I isolated myself, because, finally I'm getting some answers about, why these miracles happen to me, and the truth about energy and reality and God, was finally happening. So I had no interest in friends or hanging out or any stuff like that. I spent every bit of spare time just opening up that world of energy and playing, making notes, observations. How does it react to thoughts? How does it react to breath? How does it react to emotions, feelings? And I accumulated, all of this data over the course of a couple of years of that, and that's pretty much what led to my teachings now, is that time period and how I was able to logically piece it together into a coherent system of understanding.
Mhm.
And the big change, though, happened one night, spontaneously playing in the energy. And this was very profound, because at first I would open up to energy and there'd be a huge world of energy all around me. I was clearly made of energy too, but a smaller energy. So here I am, a small energy being in a massive world of energy. Sometimes like even shocked that I'm supported and sustained within this whole
Mm,
uh, uh, projection of energy. But that
mhm.
night, everything changed. I'm laying in the bed looking at all the energy and playing like I normally do, when the best way I can describe it is a greater part of my being walked into me, like did a walk in, like just all of a sudden,
Mm.
from the center of my chest, I had a greater sense of authority, power, and wisdom, like out of nowhere. And I just spoke words that came to me, which was, I'm not the physical body. I am the light that flows out of it. And when I said
Mm.
that, all of the energy in the room collapsed into me, just like a star when it dies, how everything collapses in and then it explodes outward. And once everything collapsed in and exploded outwards, my consciousness went with the energy. So everything changed that night. Instead of perceiving myself as a small being in a huge world of energy, I now perceive myself as being the source of all of the energy that I see.
Can I just ask, what was it you just said again? I want to put that up on the screen because that was so nice.
Um,
I am
the physical body, I am the
I
light
am,
that flows out of it.
that's so beautiful. I'm not the physical body, I'm the light that flows out of it. Claim that, guys. Beautiful. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah, that's
Thank
when
you.
the kinesis started. Once I turned inside out like that, and my consciousness actually came out and became the energy, that's when
Beautiful.
everything changed. And I noticed that everything responded to my mind, that the same types of motions that we make
Mm-hmm.
within to move the body cause movement out here when you have a mental connection. It's actually our electricity through the nervous system that fires the muscles that contract and expand, that move the body, but it's the spirit overlapped with the body that gently, delicately, and sophisticatedly creates the energy that causes the physical happenings. So it's almost like we're inside of our bodies and robotically, controlling them through the nerve fiber system. So the same types of movements that you do in the body, like opening and closing your hands, causes an electromagnetic expansion, contraction, which
Yeah.
fires the physical energy. But if you do that same motion out here, you get some magnetic expansion and contraction. Like if you're doing that in the wind, the wind will blow, or the trees' leaves will start rustling, or clouds can disappear, or so on and so forth. The same types of motions that we do in here can now be made out here and cause an effect on the world, on other people, and so on and so forth. And that's when I really felt I had something to share. Having this private little wonderland I can open up by myself is one thing, but having something that can be shown to prove that it's real, that it leads to something,
Yes.
not just an interesting thing inside of some dude's delusional mind that this actually ties into something tangible. And that's when I started the Avatar Institute and all the teaching and healing I do today, 7 years later, and here we are today.
Beautiful. Wow, what a story. I mean, my gosh. So when you actually went into solitude, where is it that you actually went? Did you go into, say, like in a house, or because many people who do that, they like stay in a mountainside or in a cave, or that they'll walk on the desert, or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm very much a homeboy, so it was the room in my house. I love home.
Oh, hey, cool. At least, but you was in solitude, complete solitude, like from everyone on the outside, everything or everyone.
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, close family I would talk to now and then, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Of course. I went through that as well. I didn't. It wasn't very long. It was a couple of years, I suppose. I experienced that, but in the home as well. But guys, I'd advise that to anyone, because in that silence, in that quiet, you really get to know yourself, and you get to learn a lot. You really do. We're so distracted, aren't we? A lot of the time on the outside. So it's really good to make time to go within. Make sure I do that every day. But guys, please continue speaking, Michael. I'm not ignoring you. I'm just going to share this out to a couple of pages on my phone.
Okay. Well, yeah. Well, that's pretty much the end of my story. As to how everything began, and here I am today. Been teaching for 7 years now. I've had thousands of students come through the course from all over the world, and
what is it exactly that you teach, if you don't mind me asking?
everything. From I'll take a person no matter where they're at, even if they're at ground zero, never had a spiritual experience, never felt energy,
Yeah.
or if they're maybe halfway through their mastery. It's for all levels of people, but it's comprehensive. It's everything. So you're going to learn how to see energy, feel energy, taste, touch, smell, even overlap them. Get to where whatever you see, you can feel or smell, because everything's just a vibration or interpretation of that. So it's a full and complete sensory connection to multidimensional energy, as well as the energy that forms the physical reality. And by complete connection, I mean, it's not like you have to meditate to be there. By the end of it, you're always there. Your breath is permanently connected to energy. Your heartbeat is permanently connected to energy. Your thoughts, your mind, your feelings, like all of it. So your entire perception of the world and who and what you are changes forever. Like life stops being a physical experience and starts becoming a 24/7 spiritual experience once you've fused all of your senses beyond the range of the five senses. So that's a big part of the first step. Another big part of the first step is to open up your multidimensionality, to claim your dream time, make it lucid, and to learn to begin projecting in and out of the physical body. Um, in the more advanced levels, we work on what we call soul mass, which is how, now that you are connected to energy, now that you are expanded beyond your body, how much energy are you connected to? Which is
Hmm.
how much of all that is do you currently encompass in oneness? Basically,
Hmm.
is what that comes down to, because God, the source, is all that is, everything in creation. So soul mass is our ability to expand our consciousness into the great all that is, in empathy, and blend or fuse with it to know more of reality as being an extension of the self. And the more that you're connected to in soul mass, the more your thoughts, emotions, projections, beliefs, and ideas have an impact on the world. So we're always seeking to increase the level of soul mass that we have. Another part of the advanced training is what we call soul mapping, which is memorizing the divinity of the physical creation. So it's like, okay,
Hmm.
you're an infinite light being that radiates source energy outward. Congratulations, great. So you're this ball of wavy energy. What's next? What are you going to do
Yeah.
with it? Well, the creator that made this reality did something fantastic with it, because that waveform energy is all that exists. But somehow we have this world with grass, rocks, soil, clouds, sky, sunshine, stars, birds, animals, like all the amazing things, when really there's only rippling energy. Like, wow, right? So soul mapping
Yeah.
is all about learning from the divinity of this creation. Now that you're able to expand beyond the body, all of the things in the natural world have a lesson to teach. Like water will teach you how to configure, pattern, and run your energy a certain way in order to experience cleansing. Merging your essence with the sun will teach you how to be radiative, to generate energy by colliding your particles and causing an outward, very masculine push. The moon will teach you to receive energy all the way into your core with a cooling light that comes back out. Each star that you find within your being and make the connection becomes a multidimensional reality that you can then tap and experience as worlds, whole entire worlds, when you're out of your
Yeah.
body. Trees teach you to get nutrients and nourishment from the energy from the earth, while receiving the activation from the solar rays from above. I mean, everything teaches you a tremendous thing, because every single thing, and I mean everything, in the natural world is healing and elevating to the soul. All of it, every single thing in the natural world. And pretty much every single thing in the man-made world is the opposite of that. It doesn't have to be
Yeah.
that doesn't have to be that way, but it is currently, because mankind is asleep to all of this. So everything that we've created in the man-made world is out of harmony with the natural world. It's not
Yeah.
vibrating in
Of
tandem.
course.
If they
Of
understood
course.
these things, like we wouldn't even make technology that operates out of harmony with the natural pattern. But yeah,
Of
that's
course.
where we're at now. But we see the divinity of all of it, that this natural world, this creation, is here to feed and to nourish our eternal soul. Because these things
Mhm.
are needed. Just because you're eternal and you can't perish doesn't mean that you can't have negative experience. So we've been given this amazing pattern to memorize, to map for ourselves, so that we can then recreate it in spirit with our own living light, because there's better things to do than experience yourself as a ball of rippling energy. And so that's where we're at. And that summarizes the advanced course. The mastery course is all about the maximizing your level of sensitivity, opening up your clairvoyance to the absolute highest levels, and learning the highest abilities that are currently available to the human consciousness, that I know of anyhow. Controlling the weather, merging with animals, going out of your body, and being able to see through the eyes and the ears of animals, all sorts of
Do you
amazing things.
mean do you mean like shape shifting and things like levitation and all this kind of stuff?
That stuff can be done in the light body. I don't know of anybody that can do that in the physical body right now, but yeah, that's definitely a part of it. Once you're merging with the natural world, all these animals have a lesson to teach too, because they
Yeah.
have a different type of wisdom. Like dogs, for
Mhm.
instance, science understands they can do amazing things with their sense of smell, but they've got no clue how. So to a dog, they're psychically connected to the nose. So when they pick up a scent, they get pineal. They get minds. They get psychic information. That's how they can do everything that they do with it. So by merging your presence with a dog, you can gain that wisdom. And in each one of these forms, reality is perceived a different way. The shape of your head, the vibrational range of your senses. If you change these things, it changes the entire way that you think. So a fox will teach you to behave and act a certain way. A tree will cause you to think and feel differently about the world if you're patterned in that way. So yeah, we definitely, well, I like to view it like this. We all saw the movie Avatar by James Cameron. Of course, it was an amazing experience. These people lived in harmony with their natural world, and they had access to experiences that go far beyond anything that we will ever experience with our technology. And it all due to this miraculous natural connection in their world. Then we get out of the movie theater and we take a look at our world, our heart sinks, we get really depressed because our world sucks compared to that.
Sorry, I was just going to say the indigenous cultures, they were well aware of all of this, wasn't they? I mean, the way their houses were shaped and everything was conducive to energy and to earth, vibration rather than energy. Yeah.
The natural shamans, that's normal to them. What I'm talking about, becoming an animal, projecting your consciousness, seeing through their eyes, and they didn't do rain dances because they were a stupid, superstitious people. They did them because they worked.
Exactly.
So it's really nothing new there. But yeah, the message is that we all wanted a taste of that life that we saw on Avatar, and we all are depressed about the way this world is going, but we can have that here. We don't need this special hair. We have consciousness that can expand through the universal energy. So the message is that we can all connect into this miraculous, deep, enriching, sensual experience by expanding the senses into higher ranges of vibration that allow us to experience this world in a miraculous and spiritual way. We can completely rewrite how we live life on Earth here as humanity. I mean, what we live for, because we're chasing our tail right now. We're like a rat in a cage trying to feel good. That's why we live, is to feel, to have experiences that go above and beyond, to constantly be enriching ourselves that way. But we're trying to do that through materialism right now. The next house, the next job, the next iPhone, these things that give us a permission slip to feel elevated feelings. But once you've connected in this way, all you need is expansion of consciousness, which naturally given here and out here to experience things that'll go above and beyond anything money could ever buy. So it's really going to rewrite all of it, like life on Earth, what we live for, what's important, what's not, and what's possible. Because so much is possible. Once scientists understand this connection, I don't even want to guess at the stuff they'll come up with. It'd be amazing.
I mean, scientists have recently figured out, like, for example, that we exchange energy and, other things like that. But in comparison to what's actually out there, wow, they are quite far behind, right? In some sense. But hopefully they'll catch up. Hopefully. Perhaps science, I don't like to admit it, but perhaps science and nature is going to have to unite to bring through this change.
Yeah, that's what I meant towards the beginning. Once science understands all of this, then they'll start creating technology that's in harmony with the natural pattern. Everything will be vibrating in harmony. And then for the first time, the world of man will complement and enhance the natural world instead of be contrary to it. And that's
why we're here. Yeah, that's why we're here. We are guardians of this planet, from the future generations. We are supposed to look after it and put into it, not just take all the time from Gaia. It's insane what goes on out there right now. It's just wow. Anyway, so if there's any advice you guys can give, and please, guys, if there's any questions or anything like that, we have probably just over 20 odd minutes left. If you guys have got any questions for Micheal or anything like that, please do ask, and we'll share some comments and things. Thank you, by the way, for sharing. Some of your students have been sharing our lives, so thank you for sharing, guys. We have a couple of comments just quickly. A guy called Dan, and he's one of your students, I believe, and he's just saying how much he really enjoys the work and everything like that you teach. Elizabeth saying good stuff, enjoying all of this. Brilliant. So yeah, Shelley says, I like to look in the eyes of animals. Shelley, I've communicated with animals all my life. I'm actually an animal healer. I've recently been trained in that, and it's just, whew. Michael's right. What they can teach you is just unbelievable. I'm vegetarian, and I'm very, I try and do as much as I can for the animal kingdom and for nature as well, because I feel like we have to when we're on this path of consciousness. I feel like you really have to try and look after your home, where you live, and where everyone else lives as well. But Micheal, sorry, back to you. If there's anything you could suggest that people can do on a daily basis, just to enhance things, I suppose, or just to find themselves some more, or anything that would be serving for them, what would you say?
Well, just it depends on where they're at, what their current expectations are, what their current limitations are. Just where they're at with everything. I mean, just to be brutally honest, I would say what everybody should do is do the 7-day free trial to my course. There's no way you will learn more than that in such a short, compressed period. But you get access to the entire starting program for 7 days, so you really have nothing to lose there. But if a person doesn't have the capability or the gumption to do that, then probably the second best thing they could do is still their mind once per day. Do a theta meditation. Google theta meditation. Download theta metronome.
I'm with you.
Yeah, learn to lower the brain waves so that this can be experienced, because the human brain is usually fluctuating in the beta brain waves at like 16 to 30 times per second, like really fast. So it's blocking out any finer, more subtle data that can get into your mind. So as you reduce brain waves down into theta, which is like 4 pulses per second, like that, then these finer signals can finally get into your mind, and you can start to perceive the world as it is. There's nothing greater that will reveal more to you than entering consciously into the theta brainwave state. If you're able to have your eyes open and you're in theta brainwaves, you will perceive everything as energy, period. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. So just work on mastering those theta brainwaves, and if you're unable to do the free trial to the course.
Okay, thank you. And for me, I find that the only way it works for me, I found, is meditation, like daily meditation. And because you come into like an alpha state with that, as far as I'm aware, and it does calm you down, and then you can hear your guidance and your internal voice and all of this kind of stuff. So for me, that's what's really helped me. Daily practice of that, and disciplinary as well, in your practice to to make sure that you're dedicated and committed, because it's not a 2-minute thing, is it? It's something that's consistent. You have to be consistent at least in my experience, anyway. So your 7 days. Sorry.
No, it's okay. Yeah, you just you got to pay attention, and you got to do this. We're in a reincarnational cycle. So our consciousness, if we haven't trained it, is aware of 5 senses, which are locked into a fixed vibrational range. Your soul, when it projects into a reincarnational cycle, makes all of the past and future lives all at the same time. So all of time is simultaneous. If your consciousness is only aware of, comfortable with, and used to operating within the preset range of the five senses, then when this life ends, pretty much the only choice for you is to go immediately into another physical life, because your consciousness does not, it can't operate in different ranges of vibration. However, if during one of these physical lives in your cycle, you happen to wake up and expand your consciousness into these spiritual ranges, you can then begin to explore options. You can either move on to a different system of reality or set up the perfect life here that will lead you to the things that you want. It's basically the choice between cycling unconsciously or grabbing the reins or the steering wheel of the car and taking control. But this is a new body. We have fallen asleep. Like we are in physicality, and this is the body that we know how to move. The physical body, the light body, the energy body is new to us. Even if it was old to us before our memory loss, it's new to us now. And it takes time to learn. The physical body, it took us like 2-3 years to learn how to.
Oh, hello.
Yep, we're good.
We lost him, guys. While we're waiting for Michael to come back, just to let you guys know, I am actually a trained reader as well. I do oracle card readings, past life, all kinds of stuff, life purpose and so forth. There's plenty of reviews, and my services are listed on my page on Facebook on Indigo Soul Starseed. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming and being here. While we wait, just wait for Michael to come back. Hopefully he'll pop on back. We've got about another 10 minutes or so, just over. Is he there? Is Michael back?
I should be.
My end, it's showing his screen, but he's not on it yet. Guys, if you'd like to join my group where we help each other for ascension on a daily basis, I go live on there every day and do personal readings for whomever's a member of the group. Hey, Michael, thank you. You're back. Awesome. Yep. Do you know what happened there, or just popped out?
Technical glitch. So where was I? I'm sorry.
Oh my gosh, I was just drumming. Where was you? Like... we was talking about your 7-day free trial, and then you got to, but where had you got to though? Oh.
I don't know. I lost that point, but that's okay. So yeah, there's a 7-day free trial to my course. Normally it's $29 per month. There's 3 different levels: awakening, advanced, and mastery. So normally, just to give people a breakdown of the course, it's $29 a month to have your basic membership. That includes the first course. When you feel ready to upgrade, it's a one-time fee of $95 to upgrade your membership to advanced, and then $195 to upgrade to mastery. So it takes a typical student an average of about a year to complete my material, to be at the mastery level, completely fused, connected, able to perform these abilities and everything. Wow. So it roughly comes to like $600-700. Like, so it's not much money at all. It's a nominal donation per person that I ask for monthly. But if anybody's interested, I'm actually doing a promo right now. I'm offering discounted memberships, like ridiculously discounted, because I'm trying to fund a new project that I'm about to release. So that's on my Facebook page. Anybody's welcome to go there or send me a private message on Facebook, and we'll work out an amazing deal for whatever level you're wanting to train at, like at least 50% off on some type of package. So if you've ever wanted to open up to these things, now would be a great time. I'll take care of you no matter what your financial situation is. Just let me know where you're at, and I'll meet you there if you're interested. So I can be reached on Facebook, Micheal Monk. You'll know the right Micheal Monk because the avatar, my school will be on my page. And you can also email me at mm@avatarenergymaster.com and talk to me there. But if you're interested, I will make sure that you're able to study and train no matter where you're at financially.
That's beautiful. Thank you for that, guys. Shelley Love says she's interested, so hopefully you'll get a message from her. She said this year is a step up year. Go for it, girl. Girl power. We're just going to read a couple of comments, and then I think we're almost done anyway, guys. Michael, is there anything else you'd like to say while we're kind of rounding up and stuff? I'm sorry we started a little bit late. I'm on a bit of a schedule. That's all. Sorry.
It's okay. Probably the thing I like to impress on people the most, if I can, is to unhook from the world of information, to stop seeking these dates where everything's going to change, these predicted dates where we're all going to ascend. We tend to become information junkies in the spiritual community, each day looking for that story that allows us to feel good about ourselves and the world that we live in, that good news story that the dark forces are being defeated, or that we're all going to ascend into fifth dimensional light beings on the 9-9 portal or something like that. To unhook from that and go within to the place where you can make real change right now, because there is no date ever that will ever transform us, because the future never happens. There's only right now. So the only way we could ever possibly transform into what we want to become is to have it happen right now. If we're even in this mindset of dates when things are going to happen, then we've already lost out. And there's a lot that you can tap into right now to make this physical experience a gorgeous, rich, and sensual spiritual experience. You can experience other worlds. Just so much is available to have and to hold right now that there's really nothing else worthwhile to do with your time in this day and age than to become multidimensional and expand your consciousness.
Yeah, I agree. I've spent a lot of time doing different earthly things, and wow, the last 3.5 years have been the best of my life. So, you go through a lot of pain as you release trauma and karma stuff, and you move forward, and then things start to really get exciting. Really get exciting. But yeah, guys, it's awesome. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, Michael, first of all, for joining. Really grateful. Amazing to have you on, and sorry we didn't manage the full hour, and there was technical problems, guys, and so forth. I really am unaware why, but once again, this is Starlight Wisdom. My channel on YouTube is Indigo Ray, and also on Facebook, Indigo Ray and Indigo Soul Starseed. Please do check it out. If you resonate, please subscribe and join. Michael, I'll check out your page also. Looking forward to having a look at that and see what's on there and things like that. So thanks, everyone, once again. And thank you, Michael, once again.
It was my pleasure.
If you guys do want to catch the next show, there's, like I said, Raquel, Shamanic Lady, at 9 o'clock tonight, UK time, all about Standing Rock, and it will be on all my pages. Okay, guys? So hopefully see you there. Many blessings, everyone. Lots of love.
Namaste. God bless you. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for having me.
God bless you too. God bless everyone. Bye. Thank you. Bye, everyone. Oh, I meant to say thanks for coming on when he just said thanks for having me. Sorry, guys. Thank you for having everyone. Great to meet you too. Lots of love, everyone. Bye. Hope to see you.